Welcome back to my channel. This is Gamer Dom, and lucky few, or persistent few, shall we say, I've had the opportunity to play with this bad boy. This is the Tier 6 reward tank. It's not a premium tank, it is a reward tank. This is the Russian light tank, the T-50-2. So basically, as you're probably well aware, Wargaming are claiming their 10th anniversary as of, well, this month. And to commemorate that, and as a thank you to the player base, it's giving everybody who has at least 4 years time registered on the account this tank for free, plus a load of credits, plus a load of bonds, all kinds of good stuff. And you know, often we're very critical, myself included, particularly myself, about how money-grabbing bastards the World of Tanks leadership are, but in this occasion they have done the decent thing, given something for free, for God's sake, something that would otherwise be, you know, I don't know, 20 quid, something like that, maybe, plus all the bonds, plus all the good stuff. So is it any good? Well, back in the day, apparently this thing was the tank that broke the meta. It was too quick. The refresh rates on the game didn't allow you to be able to keep up for these things. So these things were so quick. They were the fastest tank in the game, and they whizzed around so much that nobody could actually hit them because the refresh rate wouldn't keep up. And they were removed from the game because basically the game wasn't ready for them. Now, you know, build them and they'll come. Oh, let's just kill that rival one. Yep, there we go. Now it's in the game, and it's nothing particularly special. Well, is it? Yes, it is actually. Well, A, it's a special one because it's free, and hey, we love free shit, right? B, it's an extremely nimble tank. Look at this. This guy is a good player. This is, sorry, I should have said this, Crowway, who's driving this thing. He's on Corellia. He's just made that WZ look really, really stupid. Now, you would have thought that the players who play this tank are all very, very good. It isn't necessarily the case, because it was basically whether you had having your account registered was all that mattered. When it was registered, if it was within the 3-year bracket, 4-year bracket, whether it was in the 4-year bracket, if it was in the 3, you didn't get it. If it was in the 4-year bracket, you got the thing automatically. Just because you've been in the game, registered for a length of time, doesn't mean you actually played it. So, you know, no guarantees that players are actually very, very good, despite the fact you expect them to be. Anyway, it's a nice, fun tank. It's not that quick, about 60 something. It do 65, something like that. So, in terms of the new tanks out there, not that quick, but it's incredibly nimble. It can out circle a light tank. It's just so good at it, and that's where it's fun, frankly. And it has a 57mm gun, 85 damage, 118 penetration, unless you reach into the pockets, in which case 165 penetration and 85 damage. And you will be amazed, well, you won't be, how many people are playing this tank with solid gold. God damn, I wanted to play this. I wanted to play a replay of oh, you poor bugger, AMX, now you look daft. I wanted to show this tank off in action. I haven't played particularly brilliant in mine, but then I'm not a great light player. But I have 5 years registered in this game. How sad is that? So what was I saying? Yes, so, but I tried to go on WoT Replays to look at various replays, and literally of the first 10 games, pretty much everybody was firing almost solid gold. And you know my aversion to showing too much gold play in my channel. I'd rather show people actually skillfully playing, rather than just reaching into their pockets and pulling out extra penetration, extra, you know, whatever. So anyway, we talked about this. We'll get away from that Panther. Did the Jag Panther fire? He did. Now we can get on him, and that's good players do that all the time. I'm trying to get myself used to this, so that when you see them fire, that's when you make your move. And he took that guy down beautifully. This game has been a rumple stomp, and you see, hasn't reached into his pockets. He's just fired standard rounds. He's going to run out in a minute, have to go into gold because he's almost used all his shots up. So it's a fun tank. It's nimble, fairly speedy, not particularly. 65 is nothing special, but incredibly turns on a dime and is real fun to play. And you see a lot of them. If you're playing tier 6, you will see loads of these little buggers around, so be prepared. T-29 is the last one standing, and we're going ham on him because why not? Oof, nearly got taken out by our own artillery. And that's the game. Well played. Good game. So Croway finished up acing the T-52. He also got spotter, bruiser, arsonist, fighter, fire for effect. He got Orlik's medal for taking down 2 enemy tanks or tank destroyers, at least 1 tier higher. He got patrol duty, Confederate, and of course high caliber. Absolute bruising game for him. Ended up top of the team on base XP, 2,719 damage, 4 kills, 1855 base XP. 38 shots fired, hit with 33 and penned with 29. Took 5 hits himself, 3 of which actually bounced amazingly. The turret can bounce the odd shell, but it's not really advisable. 3,000 spotting assistance, you know, running around like a blue-ass fly. Showed off how much you can spot with this. 54,000 credits almost. He must have fired premium, I just didn't notice it. It certainly wasn't as much as most of the other people who've put replays up. So and then he was running food, so he actually only made 11,353 credits. Now this doesn't generate credits like a premium tank. It is a reward tank, so therefore you don't get as much out of it. Would have lost 6.5 if he hadn't been running premium. And crew experience 3,618. Now you do get the premium bonus for the crew bonus, but not for credits. So it doesn't generate extra credits, it generates extra experience for the crew. And of course, much like any premium tank, you can put any Russian light crew into the T-50-2 and drive it without penalty. So there you go. That's the little bastard, the little T-50-20. T-52 Russian tier 6 reward light tank. Available to those of us who have been playing this game far too long. Will they ever sell it? It's Wargaming, of course they will at some point. If there's a market for it, I'm sure they will. But at the moment they're saying this is just for the players with at least 4 years experience in the game, or at least registered in the game. It's a bit tough on the players who've come in subsequently and play more than some of those players who've just been online. I know at least one player, somebody I know who barely ever plays, but just happens to have a registered account for 5 years or so, and got himself one of these tanks. Whereas other players I know who've have played daily for 3 years, almost, didn't get it. But there has to be a cut-off at some point, I guess. Anyway, hope you found it interesting and entertainment. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. In the meantime, enjoy your games, have fun, try not to take it too seriously, and I'll see you again soon. This is Gamer Dom, signing out.